And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
We're talking Giants every day. From McCovey Cove to the Oracle Park lights, Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright. Fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us. Breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses. Woo! Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride. Talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants.
There he is! Richard Cookley.
That's a name you don't hear every day. Hey, Richard. Richard was going to send me a picture, I think, of him and me and never got it. I think his wife took a pic. He's Eric. I'm Glenn.
Eric and Glenn, breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
Richard Cookerly is in the house. Oh, it's finally Friday.
All right, it is. It's here we go. Giant Sports Talk Live. We are on the cusp of the winter meetings. It's going to be taking place down in Orlando, Florida. Glenn, how about that? And hey, more importantly, it's Friday night. Come on. Let's go, man. Try to get some work done. Watch his work. Get some work done, man. Let's go. Come on.
What the hell is he saying anyway? Like aliens. Good one.
Yeah, not too bad, huh? All right. Anyways, like I said, a weekend before the winter meetings, which going to start on Monday. I think it lasts 3 days. I can't. One of those days, I can't remember if it's Wednesday or Thursday. They had the Rule 5 draft, right? Rule 5 draft somewhere in there. The lottery for where the draft picks are going to be for the following summer. So yeah, how about that? There you go. Hey JB, way to go, man! Perfect timing. He just sat in front of his TV, computer, or his phone, one or the other, and is enjoying Giant Sports Talk Live from the land down under, Glenn. Bunch of news, guys. Holy shit. We take a day off, Glenn, and a bunch of coaching hires for the Giants. And today we actually had a player news, not of a player coming in, but of a player leaving. And we'll get into that, of course. Marco Luciano no longer with the San Francisco Giants. That star has fallen. Exactly. He's got absolutely nothing. The Giants put him on outright waivers.
Fits the narrative of the Giants, though, doesn't it?
Well, when we were talking about this, I said that these 3 of those guys are probably going to be gone. Luciano is gone without getting anybody back. Matos, maybe you get something for him. Encarnacion, I don't know what's going to happen with him, but I got a feeling that those 2 guys are probably going to be in the hot seat as well, but we'll talk about more of it.
You know what I told you at the pre-show, Eric, before we went to air? Again, we have our best chats before the red light goes on and we go live. Am I not wrong here that they kind of wore out the welcome for these players? They proved kind of their value. And now, if it ain't the Pirates or the White Sox or maybe the Marlins interested, He's got such a small window of opportunity to talk trades or talk deals. Nobody's interested, Eric. The Pirates and the White Sox of the world, the only teams that maybe want to take a flyer on a guy like Luciano. And today you saw the Pirates do that. And what did it cost them?
Exactly. It cost them absolutely nothing. We'll get more into this here.
No risk, possible reward. No risk. And if it doesn't work out, it didn't cost you nothing.
Exactly.
Hats off. And Pittsburgh has done this with some of our players in the past. This isn't a one-off, Eric. Pittsburgh, they got some good use out of Connor Joe and Joey Bart. And what did those guys cost them? Next to nothing.
Yeah, Joey Bart ain't nothing. He was all hyped up. He's nothing. The biggest guy that came from San Francisco that went to Pittsburgh, well, you got, what's his name? Brian Reynolds during the McCutcheon trade. So that is probably the biggest guy that they've gotten from the Giants. But yeah, there's a history there. There's a history.
Stop chasing these veteran wannabes, area. Like the guys who McCutcheon. Think back, really, truly. Well, if I asked you to reflect back over even the last 10 years, I always go back to when we won our last World Series. So it's been about a decade. And when I say, tell me about the players who've made an impact. McCutcheon is not on that list, Eric.
No, he's not.
And you gave up the farm, so to speak, for that guy.
Exactly.
So,
all right. Well, I tell you what, tonight we're talking about San Francisco Giants ups and downs. I'm going to start on the ups. Then we'll get into downs. Of course, the downs is going to be about Luciano. But also, guys, I'm going to tell you something. Don't panic yet. Do I sound like a broken record? Remember this last year?
We all do.
Don't panic. Just because no moves haven't been done doesn't mean there ain't going to be any that get done.
What'd you say?
Let's
Joe
see
Panic?
what happened. Yeah, there you go. But some of the good, let's talk about it. Yesterday, it was announced that Ron Washington is going to be on the San Francisco coaching staff. Supposedly, he's going to be the infield coach for the Giants. And look, the guy has got a history of being a fantastic coach for middle infielders. He turned Marcus Semien around. The guy was having errors all over the place when he was in Oakland. Ron Washington worked with him, and he became a fantastic glove there at shortstop and now at second base. So you got Ron Washington. And look, and he brings more than just his coaching ability. The guy has been a manager, right? Manager for the Texas Rangers, was a manager for the Atlanta Braves, a manager for the Anaheim Angels, was a coach for numerous teams. So again, he's going to bring some of that experience that the Giants need on this coaching staff. Additionally, today they also announced inadvertently when Sam Hinches, when he was being interviewed, he dropped a little spoiler saying that Jesse Chavez, longtime reliever, I think last year was his last year, is going to be the bullpen coach.
Yeah.
For the San. Again, another solid hire. I like it. And one thing I like about this is the Giants are surrounding Tony Vitello with guys who have done it before, right? He's surrounding them with some experience. Look, they're almost making this to a certain extent foolproof, where he is not going to be, he's going to have the knowledge behind him to help him guide through a major league season, right? Because it ain't going to be easy when you're doing it the first time. I mean, tell me what other organization, Glenn, has 4 former MLB managers as advisors, some as coaches.
Yeah, but tell me what other Major League Baseball team do you know that has 4? One more, I can make a whole fist, Eric, and I'd like to do that. But 4 former Major League managers, yet the manager has no Major League Baseball experience. Talk to me, Eric.
I can't answer that. it is what it is. But you got Jace Tingler, who's going to be the bench coach or assistant manager, something like that. You got Ron Washington, who's going to be the infield coach. You got Bochy and Baker, who are both back in the organization as advisors to Buster Posey. But there's a lot of, let's just say, a lot of knowledge floating around both the organization and also in that dugout. So again, they're setting them up for failure. They're setting them up for success. And
look at it this way: if it doesn't work out, Eric, if it don't work out, Eric, then somebody steps in.
There you go.
Ron,
there you go. It's a
Ron,
win-win. It's a win-win. For some reason, if Vitello doesn't work out, you got your choices.
Eric, we've done this.
Right?
We've done this in roundabout. We talked so much about it, but I'm going to pose this simple question to you. If we look back now, it's been a month. Why? Why this approach? Why the Giants take this approach and hire a guy that's got no MLB experience when there are guys out there? Eric, why? Simple question. Is there a simple answer?
Nope. There isn't.
Can't figure it out. I don't understand, Eric.
Yeah.
And again, you know what a move like this does? as much as it puts him, I think, in the hot seat, like Buster Posey. If this doesn't work, they'll be like, what are you doing? But if it does, he's a freaking genius. So
he's a genius. You're right. Yeah.
You're damned if you do. You're damned if you don't.
And you know what? It's risk taking. Okay, let's see what happens. And look, and to what Taylor Rogers said, 100%, I should say Taylor Rogers' glove. We could get all the best coaches ever, but if the players don't translate it to on the field for the results, then it won't matter. But I dig all the hires so far. And look, and that's another thing.
You say
we'll get into it here shortly. You got to go get the players.
Yep.
Now they're finally putting the staff together, but there's 2 key positions that have to be filled. First base coach, third base coach. Those guys are important. Your first base coach usually is your base running guy, right? It's usually your base running guy. So you got to make sure whoever is at first base knows what the hell's going on. You know, he's given the base runner all the information that they need as far as the times for the pitchers going to the catcher and all that good stuff. So they could get, have the knowledge and the information so they could do what they need to do, whether it's steal a bag or not. Third base coach, we saw it last year, Glenn, cost us a few games, right? Whether he sent them or whether he didn't send them, it cost us some games. So it's vitally important that you're gonna you get some veteran. And look, you cannot have any kind of newbies at first or third. You can't. Those guys are gonna have to know what the hell is going on. Because look, the game moves fast, and you got to be able to adjust, and they got to be able to give them the right information and make correct decisions on what they're doing out there on the field. So let's see what happens.
Yep.
But I tell you, is there anything? Do you like the move of Ron Washington? I mean, let's stick with that one. Do you like that one?
Well, he's got the experience, Eric. We'll put it
He
there.
does. He does.
Again,
he knows what it's like.
I'm more worried.
Dugout, man.
At the end of the day, what I have to say about the managers is really diddly squat, because at the end of the day, the manager is only as good as the 9 you put on the field, Eric. It's got to have a winning lineup and a winning formula. So at the end of the day, the manager, if he's a flop, total flop, I mean, he could hurt himself in a way here and there, as the others have, and we've seen that in recent seasons, Eric. There have been, you mentioned the manager, the third base coach, you mentioned that. If you don't have the horses, Eric, you're not going to win. I mean, it takes a full team to lead that dog sled.
That's a fact.
And the last guy looking at the finish line will be the guy that doesn't have the full lineup of quality. You've got, and we don't, Eric. Right now, we're no better than last year, Eric. What have we done? We've done all this. Well, we got Ron Washington. We got a new manager. What are we doing? We go Weimer.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
Oh.
What's up, Don? Don, our good friend from Evansville, Indiana, says,
and it's the people you're calling for, Eric. You're talking about we need an outfielder. I say we need a second baseman. We need pitching. And what have we done? Nothing. And don't tell me Weimer.
Okay.
Well, we got Weimer. Yeah, come on, Eric. Weimer.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
As I said before, we're most definitely open to trying to add some arms that we think are going to help us on the starting side.
And barely 15 minutes into this, Glenn, I'm already busting out the scuba one. All right,
Here we go.
Well,
if we don't make lots of changes to our lineup, Eric, I'm going to be pretty stone-faced. I'll show you what I'm going to look like opening day. If we have this kind of ride, we got, right fielder that we expect. We have no pitching added. I'll show you what I'm going to look like, my look for opening day when I'm live.
All right, here we go. All right, Don. And here's another thing, too. from the conversations that I've had, and look, and maybe this is well known. One thing that Ron Washington also brings is that from Lock, Stock, and Barrel. That's what it looks like from. Yeah, that's what it looks like from Nightmare Before Christmas. I think that's what it's from.
This is opening day, Eric. As it stands now, this is opening day. Not very happy.
Oh man! But another thing that Ron Washington brings, he tells it like it is. He doesn't. He as he says, hey, as we say here, calling a spade, Ron Washington will let you know. He doesn't make any bones about it. From what I've heard. So that's good. You need that. You need that voice in the room where someone's going to go and say, hey, awesome job, right? You also need a guy that says, hey, you done fucked up, right? You got to have those guys. And the good thing is, it sounds like he's a communicator because he gets through to these people when he's coaching these guys up in the infield. So let's see what happens. I'm looking forward to it, man. Look, the Giants are doing the right things as far as setting up their coaching staff. The key, what's up, Chris? The key is got to go get the players. And look, it's okay because look at the moves that have been done. Are those really haven't been quote unquote the superstars? None of the superstars have come up, right?
Game changers there.
Cease, right? A trade between Simeon and Nimmo. That's not a groundbreaking trade. Grayson Rodriguez for Taylor Ward, not a groundbreaking. I mean, come on. You got Devin Williams going to the Mets, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Right? Raisel Iglesias going back to the Braves. And look, I'm not discounting them. I'm just saying the big guys on the board are still there. Mm-hmm. So let's see what happens.
Big week coming up.
Big week, man. I'm telling you. And I'm telling you right now, and I've been doing this since last night, refreshing Twitter like a mofo because it can happen. Yeah, it can happen. Look, news from here on out, anything can break.
Yep.
Everybody is in Florida now. They're getting ready to start doing their thing on Monday.
Yeah, like the week goes by, Eric. If they don't come out of these, dude, they'll break my spirit. Is what they'll do. The spirit of Christmas.
Yeah, no, don't get it twisted. If they don't do it, look, if we're just getting a Max Scherzer and that's it.
Oh God,
I don't see that happening. What's up, Emdar?
I'm not hearing anything. I don't know if that's good news or bad news, Eric. And lately we're used to not hearing anything. The deal goes down. Wow, that was out of left field. Last year you weren't too concerned, but we got into the new year, and I'm like, Eric, we didn't hear anything because nothing was happening. I was a little pissed.
I mean, look,
Adames.
I expected bigger things because you went out there, you got Adames early, and I was expecting some bigger things, but they didn't come. So that's fine. Whatever.
We're on the cusp of that 1 year anniversary, really, Eric.
Yeah, they're getting really close. So what is going to be done this year? I don't know. We'll see. What's up, the GOAT? And that's what's fun. As a baseball fan, this is like it's our Christmas. Even though it's Christmas time, it's our Christmas because what kind of presents are going to be under the tree, Glenn? What kind of presents are going to be under the San Francisco Giants Christmas tree?
Good question. Well, the antithesis of this whole operation, Giant Sports Talk Live, is communication. You and I banter, and we always include the chat. So again, it's an evening of trying to dissect things. So I'm going to throw another question at you, Eric. Do we, deep down, do you think we come out of this week of meetings and something's done, or is mum the word? What do you think?
I don't think you're going to hear anything. Once it's announced, that's when you're hearing it.
If we go, in layman's terms, Eric, for you. Next week, deal or no deal? Nothing?
Deal.
Something?
There's going to be deals.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to look. I got a feeling that this winter meetings is going to be fast and furious, man. I mean, we got some players out there that are going to be signed. You got some players out there that are going to be traded. It's going to be pretty.
Do you think Santa's coming early?
Santa is coming early. Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Nope,
there's no doubt about it. Look, come on, man. Buster Posey wants to win. And how are you going to go about that with the players that we sign? We'll find out soon enough. But
there's no reason.
There's no reason, real quick. There's no reason to panic, man.
Joe Panik.
Just because they haven't signed anybody or traded for anybody doesn't mean that there's things in the hopper, so to speak. Because I got a feeling there is.
Yeah, but even the Pittsburgh Pirates have signed somebody. Anyway,
who did they sign? Come on.
Do we get an international player?
Ooh. The only international player we're going to get is the international draft, which is going to be in January.
So you don't think we end up with?
We're not going to end up with a Murakami or Amai. No.
Okay.
I don't think so. But hey, what the hell do we know, man? Tomorrow, hell, in an hour, they could say, we signed Amai. I mean, it could happen. So.
And I'll say, Eric said they were going to sign Amai. Way to go, Eric.
And guys, I mean, if you haven't been through an off season before, this is just the way it goes, man.
Okay.
This is the way it goes. All right, let's get
Luciano for nothing. What are we talking about, Eric?
Hey, it happens, man.
Do you agree with me? There was no trade window. There was not they were again old back.
His value was
people saw what they could do, and his value was so low that
his value was in the shitter, man. That's the reason why this happened, and it's an absolute shame. Mad skills, real quick. Damn, I just saw that come up. I can't miss that.
Oh, that is shot.
I like that.
And who got that? Oh, that's the only one I've ever I opened the floodgates on that one. I said they got to get Schwarber, and then before you know it, well, a word on that. Yeah. Maybe they watch Giants. Maybe all these prognosticators, Eric.
Prognosticators.
Maybe they watch Giant Sports Talk Live. I opened up a floodgate there. Which, we usually jump on the bandwagon. Maybe we set the precedent. Sign Schwarber and let him bonds away to right field.
I tell you what, yeah, that would be awesome.
Because we haven't been picking up that splash hit meter very much lately.
Alive is asking a question. Let me hold on. Let me star these because I don't want to hit them now because it's going to get me derailed.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Luciano. Yes. They signed him. The sky was the limit, right? The guy was going to be the next coming of our shortstop, right? He had the bat speed. He had all this stuff. Well, come to find out, it wasn't too long before you found out that Luciano was not a shortstop, right? And as time went on, the organization dragged their feet. And look, we all agree, organization handled Luciano pretty damn bad.
Can't do that.
Damn bad.
Can't do that anymore.
And you're right. So, the up and down. And it's just like, come on. What are you guys doing here?
Well, that shuttle service between Sacramento and San Francisco, that is a detriment.
Even before that, Luciano really never tore it up at every level that he played. He had the power. Don't get me wrong. He had the power, but all the other numbers, not so much. Struck out a lot, didn't get on base a lot. He had the power,
like a giant
right?
to me. Jesus.
And it sounded like He-Man. Power of grace.
Look, Eric, I talked about a few pieces. I like this. I like it. Insane. Ramos and Schwarber, Devers and Ramos.
Let's start that, and then we'll come back to it. Let's take on Luciano. Holy shit. But yeah, so what happened was they mismanaged Luciano and his star fell. Yeah. And the problem is there was opportunities that the Giants could have traded Luciano. They could have traded him, but they kept holding on to him. And as the longer they held on to him, the lower his stock fell. And now where did it come to? It came down to the point to where you give him outright waivers and he leaves with getting nothing in return. Nothing. And that's an absolute disservice. Well, a disservice to the player because you didn't treat him right, and a disservice to the organization because you could have made the team better if you traded him.
Yeah. Who would have thought you'd put Luciano and Snell's name in the same conversation, Eric? I mean, one of these things is not like the other.
Go take a look. Not that long ago, Glenn, 3 years ago in 2022, you know who was the number one prospect for the San Francisco Giants?
That would
Marco Luciano. You know who else is on that list? Luis Matos. You know who else is on that name?
Ramos.
Joey Bart. You know who else is on that name? Will Bednar. Where are all those guys? Where is your top 5 from 2022?
Well, then I have to question if what's going on with our minor league scouting system, Eric.
Well, it's not just that. It's like that with a lot of organizations. Go talk to the Yankees fans about Jason Dominguez. I brought him up.
Yeah, but it's not like that with a lot of. Why can Tampa? Why can Tampa do it, Eric? Why can Tampa?
When's the last time freaking Tampa won? That's the problem. They don't hold on. They don't spend money. Yeah,
but if they did, okay, yeah. You don't turn the table like that, Eric.
No,
if they kept those players, they would have been able to build.
True.
Hell of a team.
But they haven't. But that's the thing. You have to do all these things right. If you don't do them all right and if you're out of sync, so to speak, you aren't going to do shit. You're just not. So I tell you, man, it's prospect. Tell me, what is the percentage of success for a prospect just to be decent, let alone be a good player or even a superstar player? It's very minute. It's very minute. So you got to be careful. Now, don't get me wrong. It takes tough decision making to decide whether or not you want to keep the guy, whether you want to trade the guy, whatever it may be. But I tell you what, I mean, I hate having to bring these guys up, but you bring up the Dodgers, and they know what the hell they're doing, because what do they do with all their draft picks? They ship them off. And what do they ship them off for? They ship them off for MLB players.
Yeah, but
not
Eric,
just fringe.
Don't agree with you.
Damn good.
Don't agree with you. If you look back on our show, remember when we used to have, I don't know what happened, if he dropped off the year, maybe he's like, I don't know, I hope he's still with us. Paul, the former Major League scout, Paul was with Tampa Bay, I believe, at one time.
Yeah, I think he was a bird dog. He was a bird dog for Tampa Bay, yeah.
And he was on the show one evening, and he used the quote, and I loosely used this. He said something to the effect of, when a team drafts a player, and he's your number one prospect, or he's drafted in the first round, and he's that high, the team has to know either if he's got it or he doesn't. You can teach it, you can do this, you can do that, but he's either got it or he don't.
Correct.
So I blame the organization. Get the guys you know that are going to get winners, get players, not guys who, I need a big sign. I'm going to put it up on the wall in the new year. Giants baseball. Maybe. Could be.
Nah.
That's all I feel every year, Eric, is could be, might be. Even when we make trades, we get guys like Wigmer, whatever the hell his name is. See, nobody even knows him. He's been with 5 teams in 3 years. Wigmer. Could be. Oh, he's good. Well, if he's so good, why has he been with 5 teams?
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
We don't know what's going to happen. That life insurance says known quantities are better than unknown qualities. That is the Dodgers philosophy. That's a fact. There's another thing that he talked about. Alive says, question, Eric, is Eldridge the next Luciano in 2 years? We don't know. No one can make that judgment. Nobody. I cannot sit here and say he's going to be an absolute disaster, such as Luciano, and I can't say that he's going to be someone like Bryce Harper. I can't say that he's going to be an Aaron Judge. Just because he's the same height as Aaron Judge doesn't mean he's Aaron Judge. That's just that would be a dumb take, right? If I came out here and said, wow, he's 6'7", he's going to be the next Aaron Judge. Well, no, you can't say that.
He's not as skinny as Usain Bolt, but I ain't winning no races except for the dinner table.
We cannot sit here and just say, you know, the exact trajectory of said player. You
That
don't.
sounds like Moneyball. It's based on looks. He's a good-looking guy, got a good jaw. What the hell are you talking about? His girlfriend's beautiful. What? Oh my! That's the way the A's scouts were.
What's up, Chris?
We're scouting this guy in college. His girlfriend is an absolute 10. They're like, and? Well, that means he's a winner.
Yeah. Stupid. What's up? Krister from Minnesota says that is why they're called prospects. Never can tell. That's a fact.
You ever had these things?
I
ate a whole roll. Rolos?
Oh, those are good.
You ever had these things?
They're good. Yeah, with caramel in the middle.
One left.
Caramel in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff will get stuck all over the place, though, so be careful. But yeah, I mean, you know what they say? Who was it that came out? I think it was Dave Henderson. Prospects or suspects.
Dave Hindu, the late great. I liked him.
Yeah, he was good. Prospects or suspects, and that's a fact. And look, you just again never know. And look, we there may be some moves where prospects are moved. And we have to be okay with that if it's going to improve the team, because that's ultimately what it is. Do we have loyalty to players, or do we have loyalty to the team?
I want loyalty to winning, Eric.
Well, fair enough. There you go. Because if you get hung up on a player, granted, don't get me wrong, that's important, but you're a San Francisco Giants fan. And yes, not to say that you can't be a fan of a player. That's not what I'm saying. But if you want your club to win and to compete, well, look, sometimes you're going to have to, quote unquote, bite the bullet if you want to make the team better.
Dodgers have top farm system. Okay. I'm not going to even bother with anymore, but Dodgers have top farm system. I think they've proven that they can scout, they can get Eric. So my question is, are the Giants spending enough money? And the word cheap comes up a lot. Are the Giants spending enough?
Well, that's
outside of the Bay Area. And
there's a lot of connotations when you say enough. What is enough? Right? Well, what exactly is
we're talking
enough?
The Giants, Eric. Anything. I mean, are we putting enough? You got to put you go to high school, Eric, and I got a C. Well, you didn't work hard enough. Well, put a lot more money and get guys who work hard and you got to, Eric, you want to be a winner? You want to be a winner? Well, winners get paid, Eric. Winners get paid. So pay the guys who can get the job done in the minor league system. Now, I don't think enough questions are talked. We don't bring up that enough. Our minor league system, what is it going to take to turn this thing around? We're only a few years. They fired the whole thing. Everybody was gone. It was an absolute turmoil, upheaval. A whirling dervish ran through there, cleaned it out. Can you name, how many scouts can you name, Eric?
I can't. Well, I can name one. I can name one. Jalal Leach. There you go. Our buddy Jalal. He does want to come on the show. We're
personal biases.
We're trying to work out a schedule because
same with Matt Stairs.
He stays.
I said, Matt, you want to come on the show? 90 seconds later. Yeah, sounds great. Let's get it. I'm going to be away next week at an academy, a coaching academy. Now I can't get a hold of him.
Now you're going to you're going to have to. Yeah, there's our buddy Gary.
I got to give Gary credit. I watched his show the other night. Although it got off to a sluggish start, no fault of Gary's. When you put 30 microphones in a room, all hell was breaking loose.
Oh, Gary, hey, he had it locked down. He cracked the whip, baby. Yeah.
He said, "You clean it up, mister." And Steve Summers, his guest, I thought, in honor of Steve, I got the old WFAN shirt on. I grew up listening to Steve. Big fan. Steve and Joe Beningo, the overnight crew, they probably covered about 30 years. Those two were absolutely fantastic. The first ever, Eric, all sports radio station was in New York, and it was WFAN, and the pundit said, yeah, that'll never work. So hats off. If you're not a member of his channel, go sign up, join. The history of the Giants comes alive. And
awesome. And look, I tell you what, guys.
Yes, Steve Summers was there. Schmoozing.
If you guys haven't subscribed to the New York Giants Preservation Society, go do it. It's fantastic. The interviews are amazing. The guests are amazing. I'm telling you.
Well, did you enjoy? I said you didn't have any skin in the game, Eric. I grew up listening to Steve, so I had a background. I knew what their studios in New York looked like. I had in my mind's eye, either listening to the podcast, reading the book, I can visualize. How did you enjoy it?
It's awesome. I love it, dude. Every time I'm able to attend one of those, it's awesome. And by the way, Steve Summers is going to be at Finnerty's in New York City. And that's going to be, I think, on the 20th, right, Gary? I think the 20th of December, they're having a little shindig over there at Finnerty. So if anyone is in the New York area, go check out Finnerty's. You'll be able to
I think it's an appropriate time to talk about him, Eric. Steve Summers, not only a legend. I don't have a very good picture. I wish I had a picture I could bring up on the screen. But there's Steve. And Steve was unique. Steve was one of the guys who he didn't talk about music and talk about things going on in and around the community. The show was sports. And he was the sounding board. He didn't control it. It was controlled by his listener. He had some iconic listeners.
He did. We'll get into it later, guys. We got a clip. Matter of fact, Gary, Glenn was able to lift some of the audio from Steve when he was talking about the moments of Giants history that he saw, and we're going to play that here shortly. Check this out. Ocean View. Jalal scouted his son. in San Diego, man. How about talk about a small
Jalal.
You want to talk about a small world? Here we go. Jalal reached out to me. He's been on the show. I love talking to him. He's awesome. And here he is. We got a viewer who's had Jalal actually scout his son.
Been a while.
That's awesome.
Been a while.
And then we got Gary again says, thanks so much. Much appreciated. Mutual Admiration Society, December 20th. There it is. December 20th. I wish
I could. I'm going to be on the far coast, Eric. The wrong coast.
Here.
Wish I was over in New York. I would be there. I mean, dude, I would be there. I'd put a little bell on. I'd be there with bells on because Steve is going to be there. He's signing autographs. He'll sign your book. And I'm telling you, this was a real heart warmer for me listening to the interview. And it was just magical.
We will get Gary on the show. Gary will be more than happy to come on.
Let me play the clip now, Eric. Let's take a break. So let me tell you a little background. Steve Summers, WFAN Radio New York, the first ever all sports radio station. And they put him on the overnight show. They had offered him afternoons, wanted to team him up like a co-host like Eric and Glenn do. But he goes, it's New York City, the city that never sleeps. I mean, I could go to work in Westchester. Nobody'd be listening overnight, but it's New York. Millions listening. And the ironic thing was they said sports radio, 24-hour sports radio, Eric would never. Nobody wants to talk sports on the radio. Nobody will tune in. Nobody will listen. Dude, look what it has become. It went from it'll never work to every city's got one. Sacramento. Do you still have one up in Sacramento?
I'm sorry. I was looking at what Mark was saying.
As usual, Eric doesn't listen to my portion of the show. So we'll move ahead. Steve Summers actually worked for a while.
Matter of fact, he worked
in Sacramento.
He Channel 13, KOVR, man. When I was a kid, that was one of the stations that we got. Channel 3, 10, 13. And then we had I think 5 out of San Francisco, Channel 2, KTVU out of San Francisco. But yeah, I mean, I was really young. I was only 6 years old when he started in Sacramento. But yeah, he was the sports guy on KOVR, man.
So he moved around. He did a little radio, it's the all hit radio in Boston. And he did that stuff. But it was his unique delivery for sports and his voice. And I mean, he's getting up there in age. You'll hear his voice in the clip we're about to play, but this was his presentation. This is how he sounded throughout his entire career. He spoke and he had such a unique delivery. And the thing that makes it most interesting for me, it should be for you and our viewers here on Giant Sports Talk Live, and I know the fandom over there on the Giants Preservation Society, Eric, is the fact that Steve Summers goes back with a rich, dynamic history of being a San Francisco Giants fan, Eric. This guy was one of the best ever in radio, and I'm glad that Gary and the crew over there at the Preservation Society had him on the air.
I wish I felt all of the things you were talking about regarding me. I wish I felt that way about myself. Of all the people my dad was my hero. Of all the people that I've ever interviewed in my lifetime, my father was truly my hero. Not the most educated, but he knew right from wrong, and he had common sense. And especially in this day and age, common sense isn't so common. But I did go to the first Giants game, and my Uncle Tevis, who I went with, he reminded me years later that I asked him why the New York baseball Giants were playing a home game in San Francisco. I just, at the age of just about 10, didn't understand why the Giants were out here playing the Dodgers, and where were the San Francisco Seals? The game was in Seals Stadium, where the AAA Pacific Coast League San Francisco Seals had played, and that was quite a Pacific Coast League where a lot of the major leaguers to be were playing. Casey Stengel even, Lazzari, DiMaggio played for the San Francisco Seals, and a lot of Giants fans in San Francisco a lot of Seals fans wanted to see the Yankees come out because of DiMaggio, because of Lazzari, because of Grissetti, because of Mark Koenig, who I interviewed on The Fan a couple of years before he passed away. And Mark Koenig was the shortstop on the 27 Yankees, a native San Franciscan. And Koenig was a roommate of Babe Ruth on the road. And Koenig, when he was on with me on the Fan, mentioned that Babe, when he did make curfew at 11 o'clock, he usually came with two other women, and there were many, many more nights when he didn't show up for curfew at all. But not to be overly penalized was Babe Ruth. Bottom line is, I went to that first game. The Giants won it by the score of 8-0. Ruben Gomez beat Don Drysdale starting for the LA Dodgers. And there were a number of notable things that I saw growing up with the Giants. Of course, I saw Willie Mays. Mays, as many of you are probably aware, did not like playing in San Francisco. There was a racial incident over him wanting to buy a home when he first came to San Francisco. He loved New York, the stickball, Harlem, the kids that rallied around him. He loved the Polo Grounds, the whole thing. But I did see him play baseball. He was the best player I've ever seen, but the most popular player in San Francisco as a Giant was Willie McCovey, because he was homegrown. He came through the ranks of minor leagues. And not only did I see McCovey's debut in person in July 30th of 1959, he ended up as Rookie of the Year. And on the subject of McCovey, I saw him in Game 1 and in Game 7 of the 62 World Series, in which he lined out to Richardson. And everybody knows about Game 7 between the Yankees and Giants at Candlestick Park. I went to the first game at Candlestick Park. I have the ticket stub for that. And I also saw a couple of milestones. I saw Marichel's Major League debut against Philadelphia. It was a one-hitter, and the one hit came in the 8th inning by the Philadelphia catcher, Clay Dalrymple, and Gene Mauch, who was the manager of the Phillies, protested the game because of Marichel straddling the corner of the pitching rubber. And Gene Mauch thought that was illegal. But of course we know if any part of your cleat and your beginning of your delivery is on that, rubber, it's legal. And Clay Dalrymple got the only hit off of Marichel in his Major League debut in 1960. So I saw McCovey's debut, I saw Marichel's debut, and one of the greatest pitching performances in the history of baseball took place, and I think it was 1963. I stayed for the entire 16 innings between Marichel and Warren Spahn, who was 42 at the time, and Willie Mays won it with a home run in the bottom of the 16th. Marichel and Warren Spahn, who has won more games than any left-hander in history, 363, and Mays won it in the bottom of the 16th with a home run. And here's the interesting thing. Both pitchers that went the distance, that doesn't happen today, but both pitchers who went the distance took their next turn in the rotation 5 days later. And both pitchers threw over 200 pitches in the game that went 16 innings. Not one member of anybody's bullpen between the Milwaukee Braves and the Giants. And, of course, the guy that really kind of got me wanting to be a broadcaster and planting the seeds for me wanting to come to New York. And that was, if you looked at my high school yearbook, you would see under my graduation picture in 1965, you would see ambition, New York sportscaster.
Boy, he knows his stuff, Eric. He's ripping off games, dates, and
Well,
talk about a walk through the park and the history of baseball.
I
can listen
know.
to him all
Giants. That's just Giants history, right? Come on, dude. That was fantastic. And being able to sit there and listen to him. Of course, I didn't ask any questions because I just didn't know enough about him because I don't want to look like an idiot. And but yeah, unbelievable, man.
But kind
Great
of iconic
knowledge.
moments in baseball history there, Eric. Wait. How the game has changed, Steve Summers.
No, just a little bit.
Two pitchers, 400 plus pitches in a game, and then they're out in the next start. Now,
they're on the next
you
start.
better get Eric, 72 pitches, fourth inning, better get him out of there. Oh,
16. You're lucky if a starter goes 6, let alone 16. So yeah, it's just different. It's the baseball's different now, man.
And the first game, he went to the first game at the what was then the new ballpark.
Yeah. How about that?
We used to call it Windlestick. Were you ever at Candlestick Park? I heard it was windy over there, Eric.
Yeah, it was
cold.
I went to a few games.
I never went to a game there. The only real coverage I ever saw there was, of course, '89 World Series, and you know what happened.
Yeah, we all know what happened there.
But at least they had a big parking lot there, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
I've seen aerial coverage, but anyway, I could sit down. Man, I could have written a book. I would have loved to have written the book and spent, the countless hours you got to do in interviews, and you get your little recorder. And I could listen to Steve talk. And that's just Sanford. That's just, that was a 5-minute clip talking about the Giants. And a little.
Yeah, that wasn't even in it. They didn't even get right. Yeah, at that particular time, he didn't get into his broadcasting. He got into that a little bit later. But yeah.
Yep. And his broadcasting career, he had a whole cast of people, his little stable of talent, I call it, but they were something else. Little Al, Short Al was on the show, and Jerome from Manhattan. But Eric, there was a young guy. I don't know if he was in his 20s by that time, a young up and comer, a comedian. Jerry from Queens would call in.
Yeah, how about that? Was a great story.
And then Steve went over to a little bodega after his show, and Jerry Seinfeld was having some cereal, and he goes, you're Jerry. And at this point, he was Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
So Steve was nervous. He goes, I was afraid to go over and talk to him. He flipped him a business card. And of course, Jerry in New York City, you never know what could happen. Just ask John Lennon. Your fans come over. So Jerry kept eating his cereal. Thank you. Yeah. He looks at the business card. You're Steve Summers. And it was a mutual admiration. And again, the interview went for about an hour on the Giants Preservation channel over there on YouTube. And you were a part of it, Eric. I saw you in the room. You were the young member. You are the young whippersnapper.
I'm the youngest guy, man. I'm just a toddler. I'm a toddler, man.
You didn't fall asleep. And that was good.
I tell you what. I love going there because I want to listen. I'll talk before and after the stuff, but when the speaker is speaking, I sit there. I'm all ears listening to what they have to say because, man, the New York Giants Preservation Society. If you go look at some of the previous, matter of fact, I was there when John Miller and I was able to ask John Miller a question. It was fantastic. It was great stuff, man. I tell you what, I really enjoy those live streams or those Zoom meetings, I should say. But if you got some time, go listen. You guys will not be disappointed.
And as maybe younger Giant fans, go over and get a little history of the now San Francisco Giants, the New York Preservation Society, the Giants Preservation Society. I think they do a great job. They have great guests, as you mentioned, Eric.
Yeah.
Tremendous guest. I am signing up to be able to go back now. I'll be able to go into their channel and go back and reflect on some of their prior shows.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Can't wait. And I'm going to go look up John Miller so I can hear.
You'll hear me.
Young Eric.
Yeah.
Hi, John.
Matter of fact, I think Gary called on me first. I was the very first one to ask the question. So,
well, thank you, Gary. Thank you very much. I appreciated you having Steve on the show. And if you can pass along, I'm a big, and we all say that, Eric, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. I would be wearing the shirt, the Steve Summers, WFAN Sports Radio, #1 fan shirt.
Nice.
I grew up with him. In fact, Eric, I don't have the tape. I recorded it. I had it on a cassette tape because when I was young, being on the radio with these guys, it was pretty cool. So you'd have the big boom box. I call it my ghetto blaster. You put the cassette tape in, you put it on the radio, you record it. You could record it. And they would always, you ever been on the radio? Yeah, Steve will get to you in about 42 minutes. So I'm like, oh, Jesus. This is a long distance call from Nova Scotia. And I'm like, my parents' basement, right? I'm like,
right.
Who's paying for this? I'm gonna pay for it when my dad gets the phone bill. But I called up Steve, and I was on the air with Steve at about 7:30, give or take, p.m. on September 11th, 2001.
That's crazy.
Steve did the evening shift. They were calling in people who could get to the station. So Steve lived nearby. Steve did the evening portion of the broadcast at that point, and I was on a show on September 11th.
That's incredible.
Wow. I wish I still had the I'd play it on the air. I could do that. And
and Gary says, "Hey, Glenn, I told you about this a couple of times. Send the book, and he'll get it inscribed for you." So
that'd be nice. That'd be nice. I don't know if I can get it. Does Steve? Does he have a good rapport? Can he get Steve the book? Because I won't be able to have it there, I don't think. Because I'm in Winnipeg right now. Next Friday, I'll be, and I think, I could be wrong, Eric, doesn't next Friday represent, it's got a tough day to travel. I'm traveling to the Bay Area, and I'll be there another long spell. So don't panic, Eric. I'll be there.
It's all good.
I'll settle in. But I think next Friday is the first broadcast of the 12 Days of Christmas.
Oh, buddy. We're going to have to.
Which means we're going to have to do a show every night.
Yeah. Oh, shit. No, it's fine.
Abbreviated 12-day show.
Yeah, it's okay.
We'll put 24 names in an envelope.
Yeah. And matter of fact, Insane was asking.
Thanks,
yes,
Gary.
Insane. We'll go on every day starting on Monday. Unless something breaks over the weekend, we'll have a show on the weekend. But from Monday to Wednesday, we'll be on every night to talk about what has transpired in the winter meetings. If anything, maybe we come on here and say,
maybe we'll hear that, Eric.
Maybe we'll come
Breaking
on and
news.
say, there ain't shit to talk about. Have a good night. And we're out. Could be. Man.
That'd be bad news. I'm telling you, Eric, even I get so geared up in the off season. I enjoy the off season, guys, doing the show with Eric as much or even more. I mean, we can talk about the games. The games are different every day. It's a brand new page, new chapter of the season. Every day after a game, you can join us. But in the off season, Eric, there's so many variables to talk about. Things can change. We could be down in the dumps one day and going, and then he heads over to the winter meetings Monday. And who knows? You just don't know, and that's why I love the off season, Eric. But I'm telling you, next week could be a telling sign for me. Got to come away from show me the Giants are serious about adding some players, Eric.
Yeah, well, there we go, man, and that's where that's where the rubber meets the road. Glenn,
Don't be the last dog at the bowl, Buster.
Yeah, and I don't think he is.
I don't want scraps. I want the number one kibble. It's available. It's out there.
Yeah, I don't think he is. Tell me one of the big starts that's signed already or traded. Hasn't happened. Just
give me Schwarber, and I'll even if it's later on, I'll say okay. We may have Merry Christmas. Ho ho ho.
It's that time.
Did you start him?
Let me get rid of that. Don't need that one. Already did that one and did that one. All right. Which one do you want? First or second?
Brace for the unfolding spawn, where highs and lows may peak. It's seasoned and battle-washed general appointed to elevate the weak.
Oh, I like that. Got some Washington in there. I like it. Very good. A little Ron Washington. 4. It's not that hard. It's incredibly hard. Winter is coming. It may rid us of this burning Heyman scar. I love it. Yes.
Mine was brace for the unfolding span, but I threw a little Warren Spawn in there, if you know.
That's fine. I love it. That's awesome. You know what he's talking about, the Heyman scar, right? You know where he's going with that. I love it, man. Good stuff.
I was just thinking, if Gary of the Preservation Society, is he based in the East Coast? Is he in New York? Late nights for him.
Ooh, it's late. Yeah, he's out of New York. Yeah.
So he is actually, like Steve Summers, he is up listening to us, Schmooze, SPORTS, under the covers. I like it.
Yeah. He's
it.
And look, you talked about being a big. He does. He tells me all the time. He loves us to show. So
appreciate
right on,
that
man.
too. We appreciate.
Awesome.
You know what? I more appreciate. I shouldn't say more, Eric, but bear with me. I admire and I have appreciation for people who have other channels who respect us and come on.
Yeah,
visit us.
I love it. Yeah, I did. Look, he's treated me fantastic. And I honor that friendship that I have with Gary. He's awesome. I'd do anything for that guy. He's treated me great. Marcus says Dylan Cease was pretty big. The only thing that was big about it was the contract, but the player compared to other pitchers out there,
no,
right?
Yeah.
Compared to Framber and Ranger Suarez,
he's not going to be the big signing of the offseason, Eric.
Even Michael King, maybe. I don't know. I mean, come on. I mean, there's other pitchers out there that I think are bigger than Cease. The only reason why we're talking about it is because that contract was out of control. Oh, there you go.
57 years following not following following the Giants from Long Island, or as Steve Summers used to call it, Gary, Short Island. That bring back any memories? He used to call it Short Island.
And what did he call the Icelanders?
The Icelanders. And then they come to the station. They're like, we want to take you out to lunch. And the public relations manager, please don't call them that on the air anymore. Please. So I went back to the studio and I continued to call them the Icelanders.
Oh,
dude,
man.
I love that interview.
That's awesome, isn't it?
It could have went all night. I mean, they shut her down. I mean, for reason. They shut it down after about an hour and a half. And I could have listened. That could have been an all-night show. I'll listen all night. It was so good. And I got to give him credit. He got Steve on the air. Steve wasn't as technologically advanced as Eric and Glenn or Gary. So they made it happen. And I like that. Jerry Seinfeld references. And
all over the way. Giants references. You
name it. Baseball references in Seinfeld, Eric.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, he's a big baseball fan. Right? He's a big
Steve Summers fan. Yep. And I'm sure if we turned him on to the Giants, he'd be a big fan of Eric and Glenn, the Giant Sports Talk Live, a Northern Lights Entertainment production. And we want to, at that time of the night, Eric, I know.
Got to pay the bills.
Got to pay the bills.
I'll go warm up my coffee.
You warm up the coffee, and I will ride the folks at home about our sponsors. Eric, where are our sponsors? The Bay Area? Burlingame, all over the surrounding Bay Area. Make sure you support them.
Giant Sports Talk Live, brought to you by Lefties in Burlingame. Visit Lefties for all of your Giants collecting needs. By GenesisGoldIRA.com, Signatures for Soldiers. Duxwell Printing, for all of your printing needs in the Bay Area. Visit Duxwell Printing at 37 Wentworth Place in San Francisco. And by BetterCreditCards.com, for the best credit card choice for you. Visit BetterCreditCards.com, covering the San Francisco Giants nightly. Online, we are Giant Sports Talk Live. Now, back to Eric and Glenn.
There you go. Without the sponsors, Eric and I couldn't afford to be here, so we appreciate them. We appreciate all your super chats. We appreciate your participation in the show and making this usually a nightly occurrence in the off season. We've been doing, night on, night off. Got to recharge the batteries after a long season, and there was so much to talk about in 2025. I'm sure there's a lot still to come in the offseason, and 2026 should be bigger and better. I'm hoping. New manager, everybody's fired up. So let's see if we can just usher in the new year on a positive note, Eric. Ring the bells and wear my Santa hat. I'm going to wear my Santa hat on the plane. I'm going to start wearing my Santa hat. I got that. Eric, I have turned over a new leaf on Giant Sports Talk Live. It's a new me. It's a new me.
Until
they suck. Until they suck. And the hat comes off. The gloves go on.
You might want to get a Grinch hat. Hat.
Oh, I got you covered, Eric. I got you covered.
Well, there you go. Ask and ye shall receive. Oh my gosh. Oh, all right. What do we got in here? You got talking Eldridge. All right. Oh, that's another thing.
Sorry about that.
let's touch on this before we get out of here.
This is me now. And if the Giants don't do anything at the trade deadline, this is going to be
oh, man. Close enough.
Grinch.
Close enough.
Fit, though. Doesn't fit. Yeah. I should have tried it on in the store before I bought it. Bernice is like, that'll never fit you. And I'm like, I'm not going to open the package. I get it home.
There you
It's my dunce cap.
That about sums it up right there. Falls flat on their face. All right. Let's talk a little bit about this because you know what's happening on Sunday, Glenn? Because we're not going to be here.
We won't be here unless there's some breaking news.
Well, maybe we'll come on Sunday depending on what happens because the Contemporary Era Players Commission is going to elect new members into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Okay.
You got a few guys out there. You got Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Gary Sheffield, Dale Murphy. What's his name? Delgado. Can't remember his first name. Fernando Venezuela, Jeff Kent. Who am I missing? I know I'm missing somebody out there. I can't remember. But I think there's a good possibility Jeff Kent may get elected into the Hall. We'll see. Again, it's gone to the Era Committee. I know there's different stipulations. Carlos, thank you, Armand. So it's going to be fun. What do you guys think? You think Jeff Kent will finally be able to get into the Hall of Fame? So what do you guys think out there? Giants fans, you guys want to see Jeff Kent get elected? I think he has a good shot at it. Don Mattingly was another one. I think I said Dale Murphy. Don Mattingly. Yeah. I don't know. He may get in. We'll see.
Who are you looking at, Eric? Who are you looking at? You could pick one guy.
Jeff Kent. I'm just going to say
just cool, retro, whatever this committee would want to frame it as. The
contemporary era. Yeah.
What is contemporary era? I
like Jeff Kent.
What is contemporary? What does contemporary entail?
Yeah, good. Well, contemporary, recent, sort of, right? Jeff Kent. I mean, he's put up amazing numbers at second base. His defense wasn't the greatest, but boy, he could swing the bat.
There are a few Grinches over there at the Hall of Fame, Eric. I don't understand. At least the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame hasn't fallen to the level, hasn't gone down the slope of no return as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has gone. That is an absolute embarrassment now. That's a joke.
Oh, yeah, you're telling me about that.
You cannot look at that respectably. At least Major League Baseball, as I feel bad, Eric. It is one of the Hall of Fames. Do you not agree? In all of sports or entertainment, where it is such a fine line getting in and not, that there are so many guys who could be in there will never get a shot now.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You don't make it into contemporary. And here's the thing. There's stipulations. The people who are on the contemporary list, if they don't receive at the minimum 5 votes, they're done. It's over. And even if they get, say, 5 or more, they still have to get voted in by, there's another committee that puts them up to where the other committee votes. And by the way, it's made up with mostly players, executives, and I think there's 3 sport writers. You want to hear some of the players that are going to be on this?
You think the Giants can sign somebody off the list? Maybe help us out?
Yeah. Robin Yount, Ozzie Smith, Juan Marichal. I mean,
they're on the committee.
They're on the committee who are going to be part of voting.
Hall of Famers.
Right? Ozzie. Oh, Fergie Jenkins is also going to be
Ferguson from Ontario. He's from Canada, Canadian. Yep.
So you're going to have some players on here, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do as far as who are they going to vote in. Each member has 3 votes, if I'm not mistaken. And to get in, you have to at least get 75% of the votes. So you have to get 12 votes as a player to be an inductee into the 2026 Hall of Fame. So,
and the rough thing about getting in, Eric, is if you go into I think you got the 5-year window, Eric. You could drop into a 5-year window where your contemporaries, you got a tough. You could be a superstar of your year or your career, but if you're in that wrong window, I mean, and you don't make it. I know there are a lot of players, Eric, and I can't speak for them personally. I love the history of baseball. So I read a lot about baseball. Looking forward to my Steve Summers book here. Watching, baseball. I watch that every day. I watch a chapter of baseball, Ken Burns, every day. And I've seen some of those chapters, Eric, probably 25 times. And I still take away a knowledge, a better love of baseball, the old black and white, early 1900s. But Eric, there are so many players who are so disappointed that they're some of the best in baseball history, and they didn't get in.
Yeah.
And they literally go to their grave, and that's the one disappointment they've had in life. Who's the one guy, Eric, that you and your love of baseball, your history, your reading, who's the one guy you think deserves to be in there and isn't?
Oh man, Barry should be in there, but because
don't say Pete Rose.
Yeah, right. Because of his
Pete could get in on that
with PEDs, I think that it totally stained. And look, and I get it. We hear the argument all the time. There's players in the Hall of Fame who are unsavory of character, right? There's some that have had accusations of also doing PEDs and all that stuff. But it's just
true
because he was the poster child, right? Of that era. And it sucks. But I would love to see him get in. Get in, but
let me piggyback off that. This show is far from over yet, Eric. Let me ask you, if Barry Bonds put up the numbers he did in what we call the steroid era, it's like the U.S. government. You can't erase history, Eric.
No.
And acknowledging him for what he did is still a reflection of the past, good or evil, of Major League Baseball. You cannot erase it.
True. Now, with this contemporary committee, though, do you think Ozzie Smith and Fergie Jenkins and Robin Yount and Juan Marichal and guys like that are gonna cast maybe a side eye?
The clean living. Yeah, but the clean living, those guys might go, that wasn't in our era. So maybe.
Right. No. That's what I'm saying. These guys.
You're freezing up. Are you there?
You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying. What'd you say, Eric? You froze up on us. What'd you say? I just said that I think those contemporary players who are on the vote might just say that they
did it the right way.
They did it the clean way, the right way. So maybe that's where they lean.
Now, they could also, and I don't know how you could do this. I don't know how you could do this is if you can separate his career. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you go up to a certain year of 1999 and you go back. Was that enough to be a whole? I mean, I don't know. How do you take that out though? That's still part of his career. It's going to be tough, man.
I have somebody on my list, Eric. Do you know William Hoy?
No.
Okay. William Hoy ended up playing in the major leagues. I believe from 1887 to around the 1900s. I don't know the exact years. I think it was around 1887. So we're going way back before you and I put together. The guy was deaf, the first deaf player, and he was mute. He couldn't talk.
Oh, I've heard of how. Now I know what you're talking about. They had to have certain signals so they knew because he played
that. That was the introduction of what we know as strike and the arm.
The arms. So he knew
on the bases. On the bases, it was just you're out now.
Yep.
He was that's why they instituted that.
Hold on, I got this. There's
William Hoy made it to that level, and it wasn't considered what I would call segregation. He was not accepted among his teammates until he had a couple of teammates who were like 6'9" and 240 pounds. Just went, he's not listening, so don't talk to him. So they stood up for him. Then he made the major leagues, Eric. Actually, he was playing in the minor leagues, and they said, if you don't pick up your average, you only batted like 280. You batted 287. How the game has changed. You batted 287. We're going to have to let you go next year. If you don't. Next year, he batted roughly 387. And the Cincinnati Reds were the first team. They came calling and said, kid, you're coming to us. But if you go back and follow or read about his career, how he was shunned again, he was promoted to a scouting department, and they said, kid, we can't use you. You can't hear. You can't talk. You can't. And they're writing they have to write in his little notebook. Go home. We don't want you. So that the owner of the team saw, this kid's batting 387, and he's screaming at his scouting staff, right? The owner, you go get him back. Whatever it costs, go get him back. So he goes back to the kid and says, here's how much. He smiled. Here's how much we'll give you. Nope. Here's how much we'll give you. Okay, you're playing hardball. Here's how much we'll give you. And then he writes in his book and walks away. He says, I will never play in your organization for $1 million.
Yeah.
So he stood up for himself. That was good to see. Anyway,
Nice.
I love the history it's showing now, Eric, but this guy, they called him William Dummy Hoy. He should be
right, Dummy Hoy.
in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Hey, that's a good one. You're going way back. Nice.
Thank you.
I forgot all about Dummy Hoy. That's a good one. And look at this. Look at these numbers. These are two guys.
We'll have another channel, Eric, the Baseball Preservation Society. You and I
Yeah,
can talk ball. I love it.
There you go.
Love it.
Look at this. Look, guy on the left, pretty good. Guy on the right, pretty good.
Well, neither one of those are Dummy Hoy, though.
And guess what? Neither of them in the Hall of Fame.
Career. These are career numbers, Eric?
How about that? One of them
What
at the
are
very
these?
bottom. Oh, hold on.
Are these career numbers?
Career.
Career batting
And
307?
there you go. Career.
Can you imagine 30, 40 years from now, Eric? 307? He'll be revered.
Check. I mean, look at this. Guy on the left, you got almost 2,000 games played, 2,100 hits,
An
almost
MVP.
300 home runs, 1,200 RBIs, 303 with a 384 on base, slug 497, I should say. OPS plus 137. Guy on the right, 222 home runs, batted 307, 358 on base, OPS 127. They both got some, as they say, I love me trinkets. Got one goal, one guy's got 9.
I'm going to take a guess. All right. This is
Take a
left.
guess.
Left. I can't tell enough from the stats. I mean, the telling tale for me would be when you get to the awards and honors. You can try to. It gives you a bit of it's like your hint. I would say the guy on the right on our screen there, All-Star, 6-time All-Star, and won the MVP. I could be wrong. Isn't the one-time MVP who's not in the Hall Dale Murphy?
No.
Damn it. All right. Let's put that preservation channel on hold, Eric. I got that wrong. Shoot.
And this is a guy, the guy on the right, okay, we're kind of talking about. The guy on the left, I totally forgot. And he is absolutely deserving of being in the Hall of Fame. And why he's not, I have no idea.
Mattingly. There you go. I thought Dale Murphy fit that bill. I thought he was a.
If Don Mattingly can get in, Will Clark should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, let me ask you this, Eric, and I don't progress to know or profess to know. I progress and say I don't profess to know all the Hall of Famers off by heart. Is Dale Murphy in there?
No, he's on the. He's one that could be selected.
Oh my God, Eric! I grew up. I mean, I was not a Dale Murphy fan or a Braves fan. Dale Murphy was. I mean, Dale Murphy was the man. Mike Schmidt, Dale Murphy. I mean, he was in that category, was he not?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Oh, Gary, he's still up. Holy shit. Kent's offensive stats are better than Sandberg. Sandberg has better defense, but Kent turned a good double play. Never cost the Giants in the field from my years of watching. So again, he didn't win the gold, so to speak, but he did enough for the Giants to do something, right? To win. And
he was a winner everywhere, though. He went to the World Series. Didn't he win the World Series with the Toronto Blue Jays, Eric? He was one of their additions. He played for the Jays. You know that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Did he win the series in Toronto?
So hold on. Let me look. Let me bring in.
See, I could do a show with you an hour every week just talking baseball and have no plan. Let's
what the hell
wander.
happened?
This is great. I love this. I love the history. I especially love Gary. I appreciate the stuff that you bring. The history of the game. For me, my era was the 70s, around 77 to the mid 80s when I was in school. And I mean, I watched my first All-Star game. I think it was 77 or 78.
Well, actually, here, let's.
Gary, I think it was 78. Is that the year the first ball game I had gotten my baseball cards, Eric. So I was like, oh, tomorrow night's the Major League Baseball All-Star game. Fred Lynn hit the first grand slam in MLB history in the All-Star game. First All-Star grand slam. And I was hooked from that night out forward. I had my scorebook. I mean, I was like, my scorebook was like hit, grounded out. I didn't know how to score. I had the scorebook, and I still have that somewhere at my parents' place. I scored the game. I loved baseball from the first time I set eyes on it.
Nice.
It Eric, like Kramer would say, it captivates something.
Yeah, it does.
Captivates it.
For some it does. For some others it doesn't. Look at that, Jeff Kent. He's got fantastic. Look at 377 home runs. Batting 290, OPS of 356, OPS plus of 123.
See, that shows how tough it is to get in, Eric. That really
and
does.
there it is. Yeah, there's his one championship. 5 All-Stars, 1 MVP.
So he won that with the Blue Jays, Eric.
There you go.
Didn't he?
It had to have been, right? Had to have been.
Yeah. Again,
he won it because he was with, here it is, Jays, Indians, Mets, Giants, the Bums, and Astros.
So it was the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Kind of answered our question.
I'm telling you, Jeff Kent should get in. We'll see.
Do you think there are any? Well, let's do a show sometime on this. It's going to be a long off season, Eric. I'd like to look at the Major League Baseball All-Stars who've gotten in, and that's fine. Those guys who got in that you go, why is he in? Look at it from the other side of the coin, Eric. Are there players that you think got in and you go, there are much better talents out there who've been neglected?
Yeah, we can talk about, but you got to be careful because there's some guys in there because they added the whole character thing a little bit later.
Yeah.
Because if that character thing was enacted and when it first had the Hall of Fame, there would be a lot of guys who wouldn't be.
Well, that's why Benny Koff didn't get in the Hall of Fame. You know who Benny Koff is?
Benny Koff, no.
Very unsavory, Eric. Do your homework. Benny Koff. He was a New York Giant. Gary probably knows who he is.
Yeah, maybe.
He was a New York Giant, Eric. And I guess, during his playing days and that, he had like a car repair shop. Yeah, they were repairing the cars that they stole, and then.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, Ty Cobb
laundering motor vehicles in the New York area.
You think Ty Cobb would have gotten elected into the Hall of Fame?
Ty Cobb? Well, Eric, you must know the infamous story of Ty Cobb, where he actually jumped into the crowd and he beat up the physically impaired fan.
Yeah, and I think he beat up a woman.
Dude, he kicked that up. What would happen now?
No.
That's Bryce Harper jumps over first base net and starts beating up an invalid. What would happen, Eric? The way he gets along with the commissioner, he'd be out of there for
you're out.
Gary says I think he would ban somebody.
The author on the Koff book is speaking in June, so there you go. So coming up this
summer,
there's a Koff
book.
There you go.
And in June, you're gonna next June or this past June? Is it available to watch?
No, I think it's upcoming. The way that's the way it looks like.
See, I'm a Benny Koff.
Is it upcoming, Gary, or is it going to be, or is it in the past tense?
See, Eric and I may be, we look like whippersnappers to some. I'm getting up there, Eric. You're holding it. You haven't gone over the cliff yet. You're looking good, Eric. But I love the history.
When I get into that Preservation Society, like I said, I'm just a baby. Yep, June 26th coming up.
Remind me, Gary. Remind me, because I'll be there. Big fan of Koff. Again, never got to see him play. That's the early years of baseball, 1900s, Eric.
Come on, RJ. If you're a Dodgers fan, it's okay to call them bums because guess what? Dodger fans called them.
The Dodgers fans called
them. They called them dem bums. They even had a band out there. What was the name of the band? You remember the name of the band? The name of the band?
The band?
They had a band out there, right? In Ebbets Field?
The Backstreet Boys.
I can't remember offhand what the name, but they had a band out there.
The Bum Band. Them Bums. The Bum Band.
But and then of course
Al Bumbry. You know that name? Are these names you don't know? Al Bumbry? Do you know him? No. Okay. I used to watch Al Bumbry when I was I remember I wrote to 3 players when I was a teenager, Eric, asked them for their autograph. And within the next 3 months, they were all dead. So one of my best friends, Errol Pretty, he put a kibosh. He goes, I am personally going to that post office. You are banned from writing to players. I'm telling you, what's this? Banned for life. The Benny Koff story.
There you go. You ask and you shall receive, man.
Is that available? I'll be going to Amazon right now if it is.
It probably is. It probably is. Or it may be coming out.
You're going to have to hook me up with Gary. You
the
get to talk to Gary.
Dodgers Symphony Band. That's what it was called. Yeah, they had a band.
Can we get Gary on the show?
Absolutely. He'll more than happy. We'll probably have to adjust our time because I don't want him to.
Or we'll tape the show during the week and we'll run it.
We could do that. Yeah,
some evening you and I just want to.
Sure. Yeah.
I think Gary would be a great guest.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah.
Steve would be a great guest. I don't know how I don't have the phone technology that Gary has right now. So
yeah. That would be awesome. That would be an awesome conversation to have because that's what it's about. Oh, he says no adjustment necessary. All right. Well, then we'll have him on an episode of Giants Sports Talk Live.
And as
in
Steve
association with the New York Giants Preservation Society. There we go.
Captain Midnight will join us. He'll be under the covers and he'll schmooze Giants talk. I love it, Eric. I love it.
That'll be fun. That's going to be fun. Maybe
I gotta ask Gary, were you a fan of Joe Beningo? I mean, he was if you were a Steve Summers fan, Eric, sometimes there are big shoes to fill. The guy named Joe Beningo became the overnight guy. Dude, I really like Joe Beningo. I was on his show a lot. I used to be Eric still is. I used to be the calling guy. Glenn from Nova Scotia. Glenn from Cape Breton. We got Glenn from Nova Scotia on line 2. We only had you on hold for 47 minutes, but and Gary, I don't know if you were with us early. I told Eric I was on Steve Summers' show when he worked evenings on 9/11.
Yeah.
Steve did the evening shift, and it could be gone because I told you my freaking brother, the recluse, he sold the house on us. My parents let him live in the house after they're up there in age, Eric. You can't be shoveling snow and mowing the lawn 3 times a month. And we're talking to my dad would mow our lawn. The property was so big. You mow the lawn, you finish on Thursday, and then Monday you had to start the lawn again on the other side. It was just too much for him. So my brother sold the house, and I think all my goodies went like, you can't replace that. I wish I had the tape of, that's one of the ones I wish, being on with Steve Summers. On 9/11, too.
Just busting your balls, man. Come on. You're a Dodger fan. I get free reign. Just like you get to come in here and rag on our Giants. Yeah. We get to rag on you. That's the way it works, RJ.
We're ragging on him. We're ragging on them bums.
Yeah, them bum. Yeah, exactly. We're not getting after you as a person. I'm sure you're a fine, upstanding citizen. We're getting after your team. All
right, it's getting late. Gary's got to go to bed. It's 12:30 there, so Gary's like, shut her down.
Yep, let's get out of here. Again, guys, keep an ear to the rail, man. Anything could drop at any time from here on out.
I'm going to head down to the rail yard tomorrow. Ever put a penny on the track, Eric?
Yeah, all the time. Yep, all the time. Flatten that baby out. But yeah, let's see what happens. We'll be back on Monday. Look, if Jeff Kent gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, maybe we'll do a special show on Sunday. Just keep a lookout.
There are nights, you know what? We don't do this every night during the off season, but there are nights like last night, Eric. Last night around 9:00 here, I was like, something's missing. It's like when I used to be on the other side of the glass.
Oh, yeah.
You were on that other channel. When there was an off night, like you'd take Sunday night off, I'd be like, I'm just waiting for Monday night. It's like something's missing. So now that we've got our own Giant Sports Talk Live, I love this stuff. So there are days when I can't or I'm traveling. Oh, next Friday, traveling back to the Bay Area, but it will mark the 12 days of Christmas. We got big giveaways coming.
Woo! Yeah, it'll be fun. All right, guys, enjoy your weekend.
Might give away a Steve Summers book.
Hey, maybe.
I got to come up with lots of prizes this year. So
we got the biggest one's going to be awesome. But yeah, I mean, we'll
can't have my shirt.
All
right, guys, let's get out of here.
Enjoy your weekend. We will be back here Monday night, 8:00. Mm-hmm. And again, if there's any kind of breaking news, we'll be on here. So, guys, be good out there. Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.